Here's the tale of Alice. You got here just in time. Now this poor girl has been accused of a very serious crime. It seems that she's been growing and often changing size. We won't take this sitting down, so everybody rise.
Rise!
Rise!
Rise! Soon she'll take the stand.
Alice is on trial in Wonderland.
But where is she?
She'll be along soon.
It's rude to be late to your own trial.
Oh, she doesn't know she's on trial, so don't say anything to her.
Or we'll spoil the surprise. I love surprises.
Let's hope she does.
Wonderland is special, with rules of right and wrong. Yes, rules so strict we make them up as we go along. Our world is topsy-turvy, yet strange as it may seem. Everything makes perfect sense, like a crazy dream.
Are all the witnesses present? The Mad Hatter?
Does it really matter?
March Hare?
Anywhere and I'll be there.
Caterpillar?
Could you stand stiller? I'm feeling iller.
Cheshire Cat? Cheshire Cat?
Oh, you never know where that cat's at.
And that's that.
I'll be back to see you in just a little while. I'll watch the world from over here and leave you with a smile.
Alice! Alice! Where's the defendant?
Alice! Alice! Oh, it's time to start the trial.
Alice?
Alice?
Alice!
Thank you so much for your welcome. What's going on here?
We're going to have a trial.
Oh, how exciting. May I be the judge? I think I'd be a very good judge.
The King and Queen will be the judges.
Can't I do something?
Certainly, there couldn't be a trial without you. Now excuse me, I have to charge the jury.
I hope you don't charge much. I left my wallet at home.
Order in the court! Order in the court! One of you must be foreman.
How can one of us be 4?
I was 4 once, but now I'm 12 and a half.
I can see how you could be 12, but how can you be a half?
Part of you is the half.
Why, all of me.
How can all of you be a half?
Is there another one of you around somewhere?
Or at least another half?
As I said, one of you must be foreman.
That's ridiculous.
I'll be the judge of that.
No, I'll be the judge of that. Off with his head.
Off with his head, my dear.
What difference does it make?
It might make a difference to him.
Not once it's off, it won't.
Are all the lawyers here?
Tweedledum present, Your Majesty. Tweedledee present, Your Majesty.
Which is defense and which is prosecution?
It makes no difference since we agree on everything.
But we disagree on nothing.
So are we to argue everything or nothing?
Or both at once.
Or neither twice?
4-3 for the price of one.
The defendant should get to choose. Who is the defendant?
The defendant is the one who's innocent until we chop his head off.
Or her head.
We were going to try the 5 of hearts.
That's right, for stealing tarts.
But he ate all the evidence last night and made himself sick. Today he's quite out of his head with fever.
There's no point in chopping his head off if he's out of it.
It does seem to miss the point, I guess.
So we're gonna try her instead.
Surprise!
Surprise!
On trial, but I've done nothing.
Perfect. Nothing is what we disagree on.
Oh, this will be a fine battle.
What have I done? Is someone going to read the charges against me?
We don't want to embarrass you. We'll read them after your execution.
Once your head's off, you won't be able to blush.
Did I do something suspicious?
You saw her do something suspicious.
Come on now, almost anything looks suspicious if you put your mind to it.
Please, Your Majesty. She was once so small she could fit under a table.
That sounds suspicious.
She was once so big
Though we almost drowned in her tears.
Growing and changing. Very suspicious activities.
She's as guilty as sure as her name is. What is her name anyway?
Your Majesties, I'm Alice.
Malice, that certainly doesn't please me.
Malice aforethought, no doubt. The name's as good as a confession.
Shouldn't you object to that?
I'm the prosecution.
Isn't anyone defending me?
She is.
I object.
Let's fight till 6 and then have dinner.
You'd best stand back. When she gets excited, she generally hits everything she can see.
And she hits everything within reach, whether she can see it or not.
I object.
Overruled. First round of the prosecution.
I win.
Jurors, consider your verdict.
Sentence first, verdict after. She is guilty. Off with her head.
Please, may I tell my story?
All right, but be quick about it. We have to find you guilty before lunch.
My sister and I went down to the riverbank. I wanted to play in the water, but she said I was too big for that.
Too big. Too big. Aha, she clearly said it. Everyone please write that down or else you might forget it.
Let's take the time to write it down.
Exactly as she said.
So I asked to take a boat out on the water, but she said I was too little.
Too little, too little. Ah, she clearly said it. Everyone please write this down, or else you might forget it.
Don't I get to make a plea?
She is guilty. Off with her head.
You were saying?
So I thought I should fall asleep from boredom, but then a white rabbit ran past, who was most peculiarly dressed.
Peculiarly?
Well, peculiar that he was dressed at all. I mean, he was a rabbit, and they don't usually have clothes.
You never heard of a hair shirt?
And then he started talking, saying that he was late, and some awful person was going to cut off his head if he didn't. Oh.
Your Majesties, I have no idea what she's talking about. I was perfectly on time, early in fact, but walking briskly. No reason to dawdle when this strange girl began following me. I went down to my burrow, and she followed right behind. She was much too big, of course, but she just dug her way in and made a mess out of everything.
Too big.
Then I fell down the middle of the hole, and I tried to grab the sides, but I was too little.
Too little?
Well, how could I be too big and too little at the same time?
It's a suspicious way of acting.
It's making very little sense.
She'll have to take the consequence. Off with her head.
Too big.
Too little.
We never will forget it. We took the time to write it down.
Enough. Proceed, Alice.
It was quite a long fall.
Longer than 3 months?
No.
A perfectly ordinary fall lasts from September 21st to December 22nd.
Your fall sounds quite short.
Just because it didn't last 3 months, it doesn't follow that.
It does not follow.
It does not follow.
That wasn't what I said.
Her lawyer couldn't be here. He's quite, which to say, completely mad, and I'm his new apprentice.
All lawyers are completely mad.
completely mad. The learned lawyer for defense is making very little sense. She'll have to take the consequence. Off with her head.
Why is she so cross with me?
It's a cross-examination, of course.
Who witnessed this alleged fall of yours?
I did, Your Majesties. I was minding my own business when down she came in the middle of the room, and right away she tried to spring back up.
Spring after fall.
That's suspicious right there.
But she was too little to get back up.
Too little.
There was nothing in the room but a table, and then I saw a little tiny door.
But she was much too big to fit through it.
Too big.
So she got down and stuck her big head up to the little window in the door, like she was gonna swallow it whole.
I was just looking, and then I saw the most wonderful garden. It was all green and bright and sunny, and I thought, to find myself in the garden, oh, what a dream come true. Just past the door are flowers galore, and little red rose bushes too. Everything stays the perfect size, it fits me to a T. I'll find myself in the garden, the perfect place for me.
Loitering with intent to trespass.
Your argument, while strenuous, is clearly disingenuous.
Your logic is quite tenuous.
Go on with your story.
Where was I?
In the room with the table by the door.
Oh, yes, thank you. As I stood outside the little door, I saw something very strange. It took me a moment to realize that it was a big grin without a face or a body attached to it. Then more of it began to appear. Oh, you're a cat!
Why so surprised?
I've often seen a cat without a grin before, but I never saw a grin without a cat. What kind of cat are you?
I'm a Cheshire cat, when I'm anything at all.
Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?
That depends a good deal on where you want to get to.
I don't much care where.
Then it doesn't matter which way you go. Don't you like it here?
Of course. It's just that you seem so...
mad.
I was going to say unusual. And everything I see is...
flat, colorless.
I was going to say confusing. Where do you live?
Oh, here and there, often at the same time.
So when you're here...
I'm not all there. I'm here, I'm gone, and yet I linger on. Then suddenly I vanish in thin air. Now where'd I go? It's so much fun, you know, when you're not all there. We're all mad here. I'm mad, you're mad.
Well, I won't much argue about madness with someone who's not all there. Could you direct me to that lovely garden? Mother always says that a garden is a lovely place to find yourself.
There's a door. They're often convenient for going places.
But how shall I ever get through it?
Look about you. You never know what you're not seeing. You think the world is black and white, like something in a book. It all depends on knowing how to look. Do you know how? Well, I could tell you now, a secret that I may or may not share. You're free like me to change the world you see when you're not all there.
Why, there's a key here and a bottle with a sign that says, "Drink me," but I don't think I should.
Why not?
Mother says that drinking will stunt my growth.
Isn't that just what you want? You may shrink if you drink, so beware. And so what if you're not all there?
Well, he wasn't very helpful. What should I do now? Well, I don't suppose I've much to lose. Oh, I'm shrinking. I've never grown down before. I feel so different.
But you don't look any different.
After she drank the bottle, she only was half that size.
Well, you said you're 12 and a half. Produce the half at once.
That's better.
Well, it's her better half, obviously.
I don't feel like myself at all.
You still look like yourself.
But only a little bit.
A very little bit.
At least I'm the right size to fit through the door, I said. But it's locked. Oh dear, the key is up there on the table, and I can't possibly reach it. Why am I never the right size? Oh, but look, there's a cake. Mother says I must eat my food if I'm to grow. I'll try it. Oh my, I can feel myself getting bigger.
Yes, I'm getting bigger. I'm opening up just like a telescope. I think I must be 2 miles high.
Oh, she was much bigger than that. At least 11 or 12 times bigger.
Send out the 12.
No more of her. We've had too many already. Forget the 12. We'll make do with the 1.5. Well, go on with your story.
I'm growing so big. Yes, so big I can't even see the key, much less pick it up. Oh, what am I going to do now? Dear me, I'm crying bucket loads. Oh, I'm getting smaller.
And smaller. I must be emotionally drained.
Nobody knows where or when. The rain'll start falling again.
Nobody knows when or where the rain will come, and I'll be there.
Nobody knows how or why the rain will fall, but I'll be dry.
Nobody knows why or how, but look, the rain is stopping now.
The rain stopped as suddenly as it started.
Yes, it's a crying shame. It must have rained cats and dogs.
How rude, what a thing to say. We don't like cats or dogs.
I'm sorry, I was just stating a fact.
We can't listen to any more of this.
Why not, Your Majesty?
The court is supposed to be perfectly fair, and if you're going to attempt to sway us with facts, we might accidentally form an opinion. We'll come back when the facts are over and it's time for the sentence.
Remember, form no opinions whatsoever. She's innocent until proven guilty.
But who will hear my evidence?
Tweedledum and Tweedledee can hear it.
But they don't even know which side they're on.
What could be fairer than that?
Your Majesty, gentlemen of the court, where was I?
I was telling how you nearly drowned everyone.
Oh, you may proceed.
That's big of you.
Don't be smaller than you already are.
As I was about to say, how shall we get dry?
Don't go. I'm sorry. I won't say another word about cats and
Now you've done it. You've offended everyone.
now I'm all alone. Just me
Myself
and I.
and I.
Am I growing
Am I shrinking?
when you're all alone?
It's hard to tell. I wish I could find that little garden. If I'm small, I would fit right in.
And if I'm tall, I could go wherever I choose.
The long and the short of it is, I'm never the right size for what I want to do.
And the short and the long of it is, I never want to do what I'm the right size for. Dear me, I wish I were grown. I could do whatever I want when I want to, and do it alone. I'd rise to the occasion. I'd know just what to do. Dear me, I wish I were grown up like you.
Dear me, I wish I were small, to be young and naive and carefree. I've been through it all, but now that I've grown wiser, I've learned a thing or two. Dear me, I wish I were little like you.
I've tried the straight and narrow,
I've been through thick and thin.
and here's the long and short of it.
I never fit in.
Dear me, if I were tall, I'd be free and do it all.
Dear me, I wish I were small, to be young and naive and carefree. I've been through it all.
I've sized up the situation, and from my point of view,
Dear me,
dear me,
we should be united.
why are we divided?
Who decided?
I did.
I did.
I wish I were
I
you.
wish I were you. Come on, there's no use in crying like that.
Leave me alone.
Do you always talk to yourself?
Yes.
Yes. I always give myself very good advice.
But I very seldom follow it.
What's that noise?
Are there lions or tigers about here?
It's only the King of Hearts snoring.
He's dreaming now, and what do you think he's dreaming about?
Nobody can guess that.
Why about you? He is left off dreaming about you. Where do you suppose you'd be?
Where I am now, of course.
You'd be nowhere. Why, you're only a sort of thing in his dream.
If that there king was to wake, you'd go out poof, just like a candle.
I shouldn't. Besides, if I'm only sort of a thing in his dream, what are you, I should like to know?
Ditto.
Ditto, ditto.
Hush, you'll wake him.
Why worry about waking him unless you're one of the things in his dream?
You know very well you're not real.
I am real.
You won't make yourself a bit realer by crying.
There's nothing to cry about.
I'll thank you to keep my opinions to yourself.
What's going on?
Oh.
Oh.
Where's the queen?
We'll take you to her, Your Majesty.
Go on with your evidence.
But there's nobody to hear it.
And nobody will listen more attentively than we.
Well, at least we know we're real.
Now that the king's awake.
Perhaps he's only dreaming he's awake.
I can't believe that.
Can't you? Try again. Draw a long breath and shut your eyes.
There's no use in trying. One can't believe impossible things.
I dare say you haven't had much practice. When I was your age, I did it for half an hour a day. Why, sometimes I'd believe in 6 impossible things before breakfast. The things you see around you may not be what they appear. I'll share another secret now, my dear. It's quite extreme. We all could be a dream. Just little wisps of whimsy in the air. Awake at dawn, and poof, we'd all be gone. But you'd go on and on when we're not all there.
We'd better get on with our evidence.
Because nobody is listening.
Most attentively. And what happened next, Miss Alice? Don't be shy. Speak right up.
Goodness, I can't remember what happened next. Where was I?
Your Honor, my client is obviously beside herself.
And we can't be tried twice for the same offense.
I move for a mistrial. A dismissal of all charges would suit us to a T.
Oh, that's it. To a T.
That's not what I said.
No, that's what happened next. I went to a T.
Pray continue, in my own words.
So I kept walking until I came to a tea party. There sat a Mad Hatter and a March Hare and a Dormouse.
No room.
No room.
There's plenty of room.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I love riddles. I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean you think you can find the answer?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
I do. Or at least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. You might as well just say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
Or I like what I get is the same as I get what I like.
It's the same with you. Everybody move down. What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
2 days wrong. I told you butter would ruin the works.
It was the best butter.
Everybody move down. Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No, I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor I.
I think you might do something better with the time than wasting it asking riddles that you have no answer.
If you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you don't. I dare say you never even spoke to time.
If you and he are such good friends, why is your watch wrong?
It's a sad situation. The Mad Hatter was singing one day, and without thinking, he began to beat to time.
Oh, he won't stand beating. Ever since then, he won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now.
Is that the reason so many tea things are put out, I suppose?
Yes, that's it. It's always tea time, and we've no time to wash the things between whiles.
That's why you keep moving around, isn't it?
Exactly so, as the things get used up.
But what happens when you come to the beginning again?
Suppose we change the subject.
Why don't you sing a song for us?
Oh, I don't think.
Then you shouldn't talk.
Very well then, I'll sing a song we often sing in class. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you're at. Goodness, it never sounded like that before.
Were you ever before exactly the same person that you are right now?
With all I've been through, I'd have to say no.
Why should a person change when a song remains the same?
It's time for tea. Everybody move down. No idle conversation now. I have no time for talking. Get on with it. Please pass the pot, I say. Don't sit there gawking. No time. No time to talk or gawk. There's never time for anything else. It's always time for tea. Move down.
Take some more tea.
I've had nothing yet, so I can't take more.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing. Why, once saw a Jabberwock on the Isle of Jib Jib Jub Jub. Though other people stop and stare, I have no time for hub hub. No time.
No time.
To stare or care. There's never anything else. Never time for anything else. Move down.
I remember when I was at my lesson, we were taught by an old turtle, whom we called Tortoise.
If he was a turtle, why did you call him Tortoise?
Because he taught us, obviously. You must try and stay awake.
And how many hours a day did you do lessons?
10 the first day, 9 the second, and so on. That's why they're called lessons, because they lesson from day to day. We sang songs, drew things that began with M, such as mousetrap, the moon, memory, muchness.
Why, once I heard of 7 maids with 7 mops a-sweeping, all that sand. Yes, that was sad. But I have no time for weeping, no time.
No time.
No time.
No time.
To sweep or weep, there's never time for anything else. It's always time for tea.
It's always time for tea.
It's always time for tea.
Move down. Once I saw the lobster ball, which some may find entrancing, all the fishies swing and sway, but I have no time for dancing. No time to dance or prance.
There's never time for anything else.
It's always time for tea.
Move down. Once I saw young Tweedledee hit Tweedledum with rattles. Oh, that was quite exciting, but I have no time for battles. No time.
Are you going to spend the rest of your life having tea?
Certainly not. Only 6:30.
Some people will never change. I have to go. I worry about changing so much, and they don't change at all. Oh, I wish I could find that lovely little garden. If I were there, I know I could find myself and just be who I am.
Who are you?
Oh, hello. I'm Alice.
How nice. But who are you?
My name is Alice.
Your name is Alice, but who are you?
I hardly know, sir, just at the present. At least I thought I knew who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have been changed several times since then.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, because I'm not myself, you see.
I don't see.
I'm afraid I can't put it more clearly, for I can't understand it myself. Being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing.
It isn't. What size do you want to be?
Oh, I'm not particular as to size, only one doesn't like changing so often, you know?
I don't know. Are you content now?
Well, I should like to be a little larger, if you wouldn't mind. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
It is a very good height indeed.
But I'm not used to it.
You'll get used to it in time.
Who are you to say such things and act as if you knew?
I know precisely who I am. The point is, who are you? Who are you? Such a simple question. Who are you?
Down again. You see, I keep changing. That's why I don't know anymore.
Ah, The more things change, the more they stay the same. When you were just a tiny babe, your looks were quite alarming. You had no teeth, you had no hair. Your mother found you charming. But now you talk, and now you walk. Your hair is long and flowing. You've come so far. Well, there you are. And now I must be going. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Wait, come back. I don't quite understand what you mean.
The things you said when you were small, your mother thought enthralling. She would coo when you said goo. I'd find that appalling. But now you've grown and speak so well. And what does all that show you? If mother were to see you now, don't you think she'd know you? Of course she would, and if not, wouldn't that upset you? Yet not one thing about you is the same as when she met you.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Who are you? Who are you? And I don't just mean your name.
Oh, I still don't understand. I'm so confused. How can I hope to know who I am when I keep changing?
Have you finished your evidence?
Yes, there's no point in saying any more.
Now then, about this trial. It's been going on all day. I think it's time to call a recess.
You're just delaying a perfectly good execution. Nobody wants a recess.
I love recess. It's my very favorite part of school days. Are we going to play games?
Games. Yes, croquet. Do you know how to play croquet?
I may not know who I am, but I certainly know how to play croquet. It's a capital game, and I'm very good at it. Where do we play?
Right here. Here are our mallets and our balls.
But where are the wickets and stakes?
Here are the wickets.
And the stakes are your head.
You mean if I lose?
You lose your head. You said it yourself. It's a capital game, so the punishments must be capital too.
But if I win?
It's your turn. A game of croquet on a lovely summer's day. What could be more civilized or tame? If you lose, of course we'll kill you. You won't forget now, will you? These are the rules of the game.
A game of croquet on a lovely summer's day.
The rules are strict, but never quite the same. These are the rules of the game.
But it's not fair.
Not fair. Not fair? Why, that would be a sin. I'm the very queen of justice as long as I win. If you lose, you've just yourself to blame. You see, you get to choose it. Either keep your head or lose it. These are the rules of the game.
My mallet kicked a wicket. This isn't playing cricket. I may be in danger. It's strange and getting stranger.
Obey, or you'll be let off.
The queen will cut your head off.
These are the rules.
These are the rules of the game.
The queen makes various impossible, somehow getting them in without moving a muscle. Alice tried to make a comeback, but it is futile and the queen sinks in the last shot.
I win!
But you didn't play by the rules.
I make up my own rules.
That's the advantage of being a ruler, you know.
I think something's afoot here.
Something's always afoot with a ruler.
I'm afraid there's no help for it. You have to be executed.
But what about the trial?
Speak to the defense.
Speak to the defense. I'm not the...
You're the one who...
Enough! Step right this way. How about a little bit off the top?
Can it be possible? Is this the garden? This is where I hope to find myself.
Now everybody will be able to find you. A little bit here and a little bit over there.
It's nothing like I thought it would be. The flowers are painted and the trees are made of wood.
Aren't most trees made of wood?
Who's that?
It's just not what I expected.
It never is. You must make the best of what you find. Even if nobody's there, you can always get ahead.
But I'll never find out who I am.
Who are you?
Caterpillar, what are you doing here?
Just stretching my wings.
Caterpillar, butterfly, you look wonderful.
Yes, I do.
But I thought you of all creatures were never going to change. You were always going to be just what you were.
And so I am. Caterpillar, butterfly, everything changes but who I am.
I understand. You mean in that inside you're the same.
And so are you. You just have to wake up to that fact.
I'll try.
You have to wake up.
Alice, you've been sleeping for so long. It's time to wake up.
That's my sister's voice. Sleeping. I've been sleeping. Then you're just a dream, all of you fantastic creatures. And I had hoped to find myself in this garden.
You can find yourself anywhere because what you find will always be
what I brought with me.
You will grow and change as years go by. At times you'll walk, at times you'll crawl, and sometimes you will fly. A garden in a dream seems perfect and ideal. It never moves or changes. It isn't real. Then somewhere in the dream, your heart begins to know a garden is a place to grow. Find the place where you can grow.
What about the trial? Is there a verdict?
Angel thinks of the jury. How say you?
Your Majesty, we find the defendant
Too big.
Too little.
too big,
Too little.
Too little.
too big.
Which averages out to.
Let's see. That's too big. Carry a little, add another. 3 bigs and 3 littles add up to.
Your Majesty, we find the defendant
Just right.
Just right.
just right.
Who says so?
Just us, Your Majesty.
Then justice has prevailed. The defendant may wake up.
Congratulations.
The trials, they help us sort things out. Don't worry, there'll be plenty more. That's what life's about.
Yes, life can be a trial.
Or life can be a game.
But who you are will always.
Remain the same.
And somewhere in a dream.
Your heart will want to go.
And find the place
where you can grow.
Oh, I can't wait to tell my sister all about you. Come along, it's time for us to wake up.
I can't wake up. This is your dream. I'm just another one of your fantastic creatures.
No, you're me. You're who I was when I was small.
But not who you are.
You know what will happen to her when you wake up.
She'll go out, poof, just like a candle.
So shall we all.
Not so bad once you're used to it.
But if I remember you, if I remember my dream even when I wake.
That might save us, but how can you be sure you'll remember us?
How could I ever forget you? I shall carry you in my mind, and you will never go out, but will continue on and on.
We'll continue on. With her head. You know, I always liked her.
Alice, wake up!
I think I already have.
It's time to say goodbye.
Say goodbye? I couldn't if I tried. You're in my head, you're in my heart, you'll always be inside.
Awake or in a dream.
We're always close at hand.
Never lose the wonder
Of
Wonderland.
Wonderland.
And somewhere in a dream,
Your heart will want to go.
And find the place where you can grow.
Find the place where you can grow.